Hello everyone. So I am here at the last day of July and I just want to give you guys an update on the garden. Starting next month in August, I will do go back to my weekly garden tours, but today I just want to give you an update on the garden, the homestead, and just a bunch of things that have changed or not changed or been successful or not so successful. So stay tuned. Alrighty, so I'm just going to start as I walk into the garden's path today, just switching it up a little bit, starting along this way here, where I have my cucumbers growing and all of the plants on the side of the greenhouse. And so the nasturtiums, these are the same nasturtiums that I started back in January. I'm just leaving them until they die completely off. I am not going to change them out. So any plants that die off, I'll eventually exchange them once that whole section dies off. But if just one little section, like this is a 3-section planter, if one section died off, I'll change it all out. But right now, if not, I'm just gonna let everything die off before I exchange the plants out. And eventually I'm gonna put some mums in some of these, just for the look of them. I like the way mums look, especially for that fall look. The cucumbers here are still cucumbering. They're doing really well. I've harvested about 10 of these last week from just this section right here, and I'm shocked to see I have 2 more growing. There's probably some more in here. I don't know. I don't see any yet, but I do see some little babies coming. Yeah, so there's one there. I see a little baby coming right here. So yeah, still some coming, but these have been doing their thing. And I think every year in this area, I'm going to go ahead and plant my cucumbers right here. I like the way they get the proper amount of sun here, and they also get the proper shade, so they're not getting burnt by the sun when it's blazing all day. The cucumbers on this side, so it was 2 cucumbers here. Those actually were dying off. So those are the ones that I had moved from there to here, and they were completely, it was time. But the other 2 are still here. I do have some that I started from seed that I'm going to transplant here to see if I can get another set. Well, I'm sure I can get another set of cucumbers until our October frost. So it's the end of July. They'll be fine. If they don't, oh well. It's still fine. And then again, those nasturtiums that are still here. Along this side, my calendula is dying off. But the snapdragons are still going. The chamomile is still going. And the calendula on this side is dying, half gone. But there's still some new buds. So I'm not gonna take any out. There's still new buds. And then the snapdragon. So I'm gonna leave this until everything is looking like that. And then I'll move them out. Until then, I'm gonna leave them. And these were the first to bud, so I knew these would be the first to go. But again, along this area here, if everything dies all at the same time, I'll put mums. If not, I'll just put mums anywhere that I can get a full section at, because I like the way they look. All right, so I had started just putting some fresh wood chip mulch down just to freshen it up. I'm still in the process of doing that. I have not had a chance to pull all of these old sugar snaps out right here, but I have been pulling off some of there's still some fresh ones that's still coming. It's funny to me because most of them are all dead, but anywho, I'm still going to pull all of these, and I'm actually going to move these pots. I'm going to set up another table, like my pepper table, with all of these pots, and I'm eventually just going to put a little garden bed right here along this walkway. So it's going to be a garden bed along this one, and then I'll put a garden bed along this one, maybe 2 or 3 garden beds here, because I'd rather just have that and make it simple instead of all of the little pots. And in the future, that's what I'll do. So that won't be, of course, until next year, but that's what I'll do here. The peas and beans, I'm letting them dry off. dry up on the pod, so in the pod. So those are doing exactly what I need them to do. And then over here, the beans that were here were doing the same. Now, initially I had some butternut squashes. Now look at them. This is like you know what? I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna pull these little ones and see what's going on with them. That is not what I was expecting, but hey, looks like that was a garden fail, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna do anything about it. I am gonna, like I said, everything over here just dead and dying will come up, including those, since they did not do nearly anything at all. So, oh well. Malabar spinach is still trellising its way up. And I grow this just for the look of it. You can definitely eat it. I just like the look. I love the look of these little burgundy like stems and these little flowers. I just like the look of it. And the flowers, of course. Okay. And when I got sick, I never got the chance to go and put my second one here. So it didn't happen. But it's okay. Next year garden plans will be just that. But the stars over here are the zinnias. Like, look at the zinnias. Like, they are showing out. So I'm gonna let zinnias do what zinnias do, and they are literally showing out. My little jaggedy little pumpkins are doing pretty good over here. They're about the only squash that's supposed to be growing on this vine that's doing really well. I did see a little cantaloupe or honeydew melon. I'm not sure which one this is because I planted them both right here. But I did see this little guy right here. But that's as far as they got. Of course, I got several last year. This year, not so much. But season isn't over, so we will see. And then, before I get to the watermelons, look at these. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sure. Look at these zinnias. They're huge and beautiful. Look at them. So pretty. So pretty. And then the watermelons. We do have a watermelon here. I am going to just go ahead and try to strap that up. And then we have the watermelon from this bucket growing in this little box. We just set it there. So they're doing really well. It's a bunch of watermelons back there doing really well. So we'll get back there. Before I get back over in that area, in my 3x3, I did clean it out. The white moth started laying her eggs in here when I was not feeling well, and it took a toll, but oh well. I might end up pulling all of these. Who knows? I don't know. I have plenty of plants to put in here for the fall, but I was pretty much just refilling this back up, pulling all the dead plants out, and setting up for next year's drip irrigation grid system that I got from Garden in Minutes. That's what all of those are. That's what those are. So that's what I'm in the process of doing. So that's why it looks crazy over here, because I'm cleaning everything out and putting all of these grids into my raised bed. So my 3x3, my 3x6, my 2x4s, my 2x8s, and then the 2x2s. I'm going to get over there in 1 second. Over here, I cleaned out everything over here. All of the broccoli. I pulled up. It was 4 squash plants in here. 3 yellow squash and 1 zucchini. So it's just 2 left. 1 yellow squash there and 1 yellow squash there. The zucchini has been completely pulled up. And then I left this cabbage and I left this cabbage. But as you can see, I'm starting to see little aphids on it. So I'm going to get ready to treat that. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to go ahead and treat that. And if not, I have other cabbages that I started from seed that I'm going to just put in here. So that's what this is. And then some little trellises that I purchased that I'm going to put up. So that's what I'm in the process of doing all over in here. I did get the chance to put the watering grid system in that one and not in this one yet. So this area is looking a little chaotic because of that. I did pull all the dead plants from this one, the dead plants from that one. The zucchini is still going over there, but one of them is good, one of them is bad. So I'm just going to pull the bad one out and cut the dead leaves off, the ones that have the, oh God, why am I at a loss for words for this? You guys know what that's called. It'll come to me. But I got to cut the leaves off. And then over there, I got to clean that one out. So playing catch up. Literally for 2 weeks I was out, and I felt like I was out for 2 months because it's like things happen so fast in the garden. But growth is still happening. Harvesting is still happening. I don't get a chance to come out here and do all of my harvest videos because by the time I harvest something, I have to clean up something. It's just, wow, so much to do. But it's okay, because I wouldn't have it any other way. In these beds here, I'm gonna refill them. You know, the tomatoes in here, I've harvested a couple. This one is splitting. So these tomatoes here are doing really well. I have to come back out and cut more off. I tried to stake my marigolds up, but they continuously fall. What I take with the marigolds is when they're like these, because I'm about to pull everything out, I take these marigolds and I mix it into a mix for my chickens to help them with a dewormer mix. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I use my marigolds along with thyme, oregano, my chili mix. I have a little recipe. I'll do a video on that, and I put that in their food to help with gut health. But yes, a bunch of tomatoes over here. So I did harvest a bunch of tomatoes and made a homemade pasta sauce with a bunch of different varieties of tomatoes. I don't just use paste tomatoes when I make my tomato sauce. I like the variety. So some people do, some people don't. I like it. And look at these over here. Oh, if I can get to them. They have a bunch of scarring, but I'm still going to take them. Yep, I'm still going to take them. And I'm still going to eat them. So over here, a bunch of the midnight snacks. Look at them. Bunch of the midnight snacks are out here. They're all into my walkway. I've tried staking them up. They keep falling back down. But everywhere you look, midnight snacks. Everywhere you look. So it's okay. And then a bunch of my cherry tomato varieties. So it's 53 different varieties of tomatoes out here. I'm not going to even begin to go through each one that's out here. I'm just not. From the super sweet 100s to the yellow pears to the midnight snacks to the Brad's atomic grape. It's just too many. So tomatoes. And then over here, I got to harvest some more of my basil and marigolds out of here. And some more tomatoes out of here. Look at this. I'm going to go ahead and take that because it just looks too good to resist. Okay. Now over here, as I walk around, I would like my sweet potatoes to be a lot further along than they are. But before I get into the sweet potatoes, I purchased these bags this year. I absolutely do not like these bags. So these will not be here next year, of course. They're not. I will probably put them in a new greenhouse that I'm going to set up until they're completely just out of there. And I'm going to add more raised beds all around. But I absolutely hate these bags. I have to say that. Every time I look at them, I get disgusted. But anywho, I would like for my sweet potatoes to be further along, but they are progressing, as you can see. They were literally just single plants, and they are growing. But I feel like it should be further along, just like I feel like my tomatoes, my peanuts should be further along. But it's okay. The cucumbers here, they're doing pretty good. So I got 2 in here. I did harvest 1 from here a couple days ago. So this is like these 2 make 3 that I've gotten from this plant. I planted this one rather late. And then the sweet potatoes again. These I'm letting die off from my beans. I want to put another set of beans out here, so I'm just letting these die off, and then I'll put them in there, and then more sweet potatoes. And then back here, look at the flies back here. All of these little watermelons are growing everywhere. So the watermelons pretty much everywhere. They're all on the ground. It's about maybe, let me just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 9 watermelons back here that I can see so far. Yeah, just 9, unless it's some more 10 back there is 1. So 10 back here. So we'll see what they look like, how they come about when they are ready for harvest. We'll see. But again, back here next year, these will all be raised beds as well. I will not have these grow bags out here. I would like this to be all raised beds. Even for this area. So for the tomato area over here under my tomato pergola or tomato trellis system, I call it. These grow bags will not be here either. These will all be in raised beds as well, but these will be wooden raised beds. Just one long raised bed per row, and I'll have them that way. I see some tomatoes that's falling since I was just out here, so I'm gonna come pick these up. But as you can see, I have so many more tomatoes that are ready for harvesting. So many more. So I'm just gonna get out here and harvest them. I have harvested tomatoes from over here. This will be the third time. And yeah, some of them I set to the side that was having blossom end rot, which my aromas were the ones affected. Aromas are always the ones that seem to be the most affected by blossom end rot. But as you can see, those are doing okay. But there's another plant over there. I'm looking at some that have blossom end rot over there. So it is what it is. I'm also looking at these leaf miners on here on my hollyhocks. Apparently, that's what they like to do over here. It's this and my marshmallow plant that I only have leaf miner issues with. My borage, finally getting some more little flowers on here. There's some that has fallen, so I'm going to pick those up because I actually put them in teas. And so I'm just kind of speeding through this, trying not to make this video an hour long. My Ella Campaign, my amaranth, still doing really well. The blueberries, I have taken these raspberries, the beans that were here out. I'm going to put the raspberry plant in there today. But these are the blueberries. That would be raspberries. And then this is more blackberries. This is what was in full blossom. My granddaughter ate most of them. I'm seeing more borage. Let me get over here. More borage flowers on the ground. So I'm going to come out here and pick those up. And then corn. I've harvested mostly all of the corn. So these are coming out. These are the last to go. And I see I have a couple here. Maybe like 3 or 4. I'm going to harvest from these, and then all of these will come out. Every last one. I'm just checking everything as I'm looking around. This plant keeps falling, but I'm not going to keep picking it up. I'm just going to eventually prop it up against something. The winds keep knocking it over. It was leaned up over there. The cat came. One of the grandkids came and watered, drug it. So it'll be okay. And then over here, so all of these were corn. So the 5 of these were corn. Over here were my potatoes. And so I started harvesting my potatoes. I have started these yesterday. So I have a few more left. I'm going to finish that up today as well. And then I'll show you what I got from the potato harvest from here. These are still flowering, so I'm not quite ready to harvest these. But these were all dead and dying, the ones that I pulled. So these were the only ones that's still green and they wouldn't die back yet, so I'm letting them sit a little while longer. That's why those are the ones I didn't harvest. So those are the last 2 bags. So once I harvest those last 2 bags, then I'll do an updated video. Over here, these are doing, so this is radicchio. This radicchio seems to be bolting because I've never seen it look like that. And these beans I'm letting all the beans dry out because I want a new set of beans out here. So that I'm working on. And then all of my tomatoes here, which are just the different varieties. I've been harvesting those. Everything in these little mint blue containers did not do what I thought they would do. So I believe it's my soil, and I'm just going to change that all out. And then everything under this area, I've completely almost all harvested except for my Brussels sprouts, which are looking amazing, and they're coming out probably, I'm trying to get up on them because let me see. I don't know if you can see them, but I can't. This netting is so hard to take off, but yeah, it's so hard to take off. But I'm trying to get under here or over there so you can see them, but I can't. It's 2 sets of Brussels sprouts, so you might be able to see them a little bit through there, back there. But anywho, the Brussels sprouts and the kale is the only thing under here that, and 2 cabbages that are doing good. Everything else I've harvested and I'm cleaning out so I can do my fall crops. And as I make my way around, so these are completely empty. I've harvested everything out of those. Walking around this way, you see my squash is taking over here. So it's hard for me to get back that way. So I got to get things under control. And then we're just gonna go back over in this area as we make our way over to the, as I call it, the medicinal herb patch, or my driveway area. We finally got a chance to get the second bucket table completed. That's that first one over there. This is that second one. I am definitely going to extend my area of the garden all the way back to where you see that other rain barrel is. So we're definitely going to extend all of this all the way back for additional growth space. But over here, the front row is all okra. I had originally had on kind of like staggered, like two okras, but I moved all the okras to the front. And then over here, we have our paste tomatoes. These are the San Marzanos. Then we have some peppers here. I believe these are my orange bells. Then we have, oh, I can't tell what this is. What is these? Oh, these are sweet bananas. That is, let's see, because everything is turned around since we put everything back. These are Melrose. These are my Melrose peppers. Those are my traditional green bell peppers. And then these are, I want to tell you, these are also, oh no, these are beefsteaks. So those are my beefsteaks. And so I've only harvested from the orange bells and some of the Melrose. And then for the okra, I don't know if you've seen it, seen the video where I just grab my okra and just literally pull it and eat it off the plant. Like I never ever you would never really see me with a full harvest of okra because I don't let it get there. Once I pull it, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna eat it right off the plant. And then over here on my pepper table, my Thai peppers are thriving. I'm gonna start harvesting those and drying them out. So all of my peppers, with the exception of some of my jalapenos and some of my bell peppers, I dry them all and make powders. Excuse me, I make a powder that I use. And so like you have cayenne pepper or cayenne powder, I turn everything into a powder and sprinkle it on my food. That's how I like to use my peppers. So for these, once they get to the size that I like them to be, I'll go ahead and harvest those, and then we'll do the same thing. So the Anaheims, the purple bells and things like that, I won't. These are the orange blaze. I don't know if you saw the video where I harvested some of those. My shishitos. These I sometimes like to eat directly off the plant, but it just depends. And of course, most of the cayennes, the srirachas, things of that nature. So just a bunch of different ones. Those are my candy canes. I'm excited for these. They're getting that traditional candy cane stripe on them. So for those, as they get larger, what I'll eventually end up doing is I will have those in a pepper, like in a powder, and also just the same way you do the shishitos and anything else, you cut them, like chop them up and put them in your eggs. So do those the same way. And then over here to the second set of buckets, the buckets at the bucket table. These are all staggered eggplant. The eggplants are here. The okra is there. More okra here. Some tomatoes here, which I have not harvested any from this plant. And then these over here, these are I believe these are my Lucky Tigers. If they're not my Lucky Tigers, these are the Brad Atomic grapes. And then more okra and then more peppers. And yes, I'm getting a bunch of peppers over here. So I do see a curved, I don't know if you can see that, a curved okra, which I'll go ahead and take. I'm gonna eat it anyhow. And I could, of course, just grab my shears, but I'm right here, so why not? I see a little ant on here, but oh well. So this is my okra here. There's another one here that's pretty big. I'll go ahead and grab that one. There we go. So that's all I see so far. And nope, there's another one right here. So I have that one. So I have 3 today that I can munch on as we do finish up the rest of the garden tour. I should have carried my shears with me, but I never do. But it's okay. pull this off, and then we're gonna continue the rest of this tour. There we go. And then over here is more potatoes. So for the potatoes, as you can see, they're flowering. I started these late. This is more of an experiment for me. I started these late just to see if you plant potatoes in June, how much of a harvest you're going to get by October. So we'll see. Not expecting them to be big at all. These are just some potatoes that I bought from the store. They sprouted and chitted, and so I put them into what used to be my lettuce table and what was going to be my sweet potato table, but I decided to add them here. So we'll see what they do. And then over this way in the medicinal herb patch, everything is actually looking very beautiful. My marshmallow is flowering again. Beautiful flowers. The Ella campaign is growing really tall. The self-heal is doing really good. The amaranth is doing really well. Look at the motherwort. That's doing really well. Yarrow is flowering. Look at those beautiful flowers. My bee balm is dying off, but it's okay. The basil is doing good. The alfalfa is doing good. I give a lot of this alfalfa to my chickens. More yarrow. Look at the echinacea, the stinging nettle, and of course my aster, and some more of the amaranth. I don't know why I'm constantly choking. But anyway, all of the potatoes over here have been harvested. So what I'm going to eventually do here is I have turned all of the soil. I've been putting different fish parts and things in it. And then I'm going to plant some more late corn that I started. So all of these I started late. And I'm just going to put them over here and see what they do. If they produce, they produce. If they don't, they don't. So that's why all of these are empty. I'm going to upload that video shortly. I just haven't had the chance to get to putting it all together. And then back here where the grapes are, these grapes are growing really well. These are the ones that we planted this spring. So I suspect in maybe a year or two, they will be up and thriving. These grapes are also doing really well. They're getting bigger here. We did get a chance to do a little fertilizing, but not much. And as you can see, some of them are starting to turn, but they're doing really good. We're still trying to figure out a way to prop these up. We tried different things. We did not like it, so we're gonna try something else. We added this planter here, one on each side, because I wanted to put some mint and things like that up here. It was supposed to be a deterrent for the squirrels. We really don't think it's the squirrels now that we did a little research on that. We really do think it's the birds. So now, because there's no drip irrigation set up right here, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to put something that doesn't require a lot of watering, or do I just want to put something up here that is very heat tolerant or very cool tolerant, or am I just going to go ahead and water it? So I haven't decided on what plants I'll put up here just yet, but when I decide that, I will make sure I update you guys on that. And as we head back towards the mini orchard in the making, I'm excited about that. We did a lot of weeding yesterday, so that's what these piles are. Bunch of weeding that we had to do. Yeah, it was a lot. But let me take you back here, because we're still in our garden cleanup era right now. But this July and heat, August to come, yeah, we're doing the best we can. So this area is looking just like I want it to look, with the asparagus spawns that are coming up, producing pretty much the way I want them to produce for next year. The rest of this, I haven't gotten to it yet. And I am dragging my feet on it to pull some of these weeds out of here. I'll try to make this my mission, but I did get a chance to do that over here. So before I get over to the apple tree where we did do all of that, the peach tree, oh my God, it is doubled in size of what it was last year when we planted it. Couldn't be more happier. I really do not want any fruit on here. I kind of wanted to do what it's doing, go into growing and producing its leaves and things. And so this is what I want to see. And I couldn't be happier. Over here, we took off the surrounding caves that was around it, pulled the weeds. My husband's gonna come back out here and do the rest of this area back here. But I am, again, the dark green foliage on the tree. I am loving the progress on the tree. It is now time for us to loosen these tags again because they're getting tight. That means the tree has grown a significant amount. So that I can be happy with. This is the form 1 apple, and that is the peach. I seem to think that we may have them a little too close, but this is a dwarf tree, but we'll see. I will keep it pruned, do what I can. But we're definitely gonna line this area up with fruit trees. And in the back, we'll put a few garden beds as the time progresses, but we're gonna, I just want different fencing before I do that. And as we make our way, see, these are the watermelons that you can't see. These are the ones in the back that's hanging out, but it's okay. As we make our way to the green stalk area and the greenhouse, we're gonna stop, take a look at the chickens here. And here on the outside, this is that little handmade little garden bench that he made to house that watermelon. But once we harvest that watermelon, I'm gonna find somewhere for it to go in the garden. But anyway, here is the chicken coop. This is the front of the coop, the back of the run. And the chickens, it is pretty moderate day in the 80s, so the chickens are not complaining at all. They're not doing their little normal fuss that they would do when it's too hot or things of that nature. So they are actually very calm today. They've had their morning food, their afternoon snacks, so they're all set. They're really all good. They still have some things on the coop that we're still working on, but for the most part, we're getting there. We're getting there. Let's stop by and say hello to the ladies while we're here. I don't know why they just did all that, but here they are. Some are in the dust bath. Of course, Charlie over there in the blue. Charlotte right here. This is Charlie. Charlotte, they're always the first to investigate what's going on. They definitely want to make sure that whoever is in here should be in here. They're not afraid. But yeah, so I keep water out at all times for them. They're starting to use their perch more. Their little porch that was built, I gotta come dust it back off. They were eating some things and carrying some things up here, so I'm gonna go ahead and dust that off. But as you can see, this side still needs to be done as far as the siding, and he's still working on that. Alrighty, I'll go ahead now and take you into the green stalk area and then the greenhouse, and that will conclude this end of July garden tour. Before we do that, let's just take a look at what I call my little walkway garden here. The snapdragons are doing their thing, which is why I haven't pulled any of these flowers, because the snapdragons and the violas and the pansies are still doing their thing. Now up on this side, the alyssum is dying off. So I am gonna probably pull mostly all of these and plant some new plants in place. The marigolds over here have died off. So this area is where I definitely am gonna plant something different over here. Some fall, more like some fall plants. Let me get out of this shadow. Some fall plants along this walkway. But over there, the snapdragons are still doing their thing, so I'm not gonna disturb them too much. The pond, I don't know if you caught me adding some more bluegill to the pond. That we lost one, but the rest are still doing just fine. Everyone is always saying, well, with the amount of, well, if you have bass and catfish in there, the bluegill don't stand a chance. Well, they're still in here, so there's hiding spaces for them. And technically, if nature happens, nature happens. So this is the test part of it. This is not originally going to be the fish we had in here. So we're just trying to see what works. And as after a while, we will figure out which one we want to continue to stock in here. All right, as we make our way over this way in my 4x4 here, this Swiss chard is still out of control, going really well. The beans are doing really well. The carrots are doing really well. Now the the Premier Kale is getting eaten. We had took this netting off for a while to water and do some things and switch it out. And the white moth is getting to it. So I don't know. It looks just like the other one under that 3x3 over there, the black 3x3. I don't know if I like it like this. So I may eventually just pull all of this kale. I don't see the need to, but I may have to. So I don't know. And then in the back, we do have radishes growing in the back. And in the middle is some golden beets. So we do have golden beets in there as well. Before I go into the greenhouse. So look at the blazing sun, and it's affecting my oregano. It is coming back. But when I was sick, they did their best to water, but a lot of it died. But it's not moldy or anything, so I consider it to be traditionally just like it's dried on the plant. But I don't tend to want to use it for myself. So what I do with it is I add that to my chickens, part of their diet that I put in there to help them with their gut health. So I use this oregano. I use the thyme that's in here. Where's my thyme? This thyme here, I do use that. And this is kind of what we add to their diet to keep it going. I put all of the things that the butterflies, the swallowtails, and the monarch butterflies, the babies, everything that they ate died off. That's what you see down here. So the dill, some of the parsley, I put all of that out, and I have some new ones that I'm gonna go and plant by seed. And my rosemary here took a big hit, but I have rosemary in 4 other spots, so not worried about that either. And for some reason, it's still definitely aromatic. It's so strong. But again, I don't like to use it when it dries like this. I like to take it and dry it inside, so I won't use it for myself, but I will put it back into the garden. My stevia right there is growing really well. Now the herb pots in the back, the mullein, the mint, the valerian root, the chicory, everything back here is still holding on, with the exception of my gosh, I have to look at my notes. I can't remember what was right here, but mostly all of this right here is still going strong, except for this one here. But the clary sage, the horehound, the spearmint, the catnip, the lemongrass, lemon balm, back over here. And let me show you. The sage and the mint and the lemon balm, everything is still doing really well over here. So no complaints there. They're getting the proper sunlight. It's just that one plant. We'll see if it comes back next year. If not, oh well. But once everything dies off in here, I will not plant in these for the fall, because all of these should be perennial, with the exception of the clary sage. And then back here, these are some plants that I just kept trying to keep from drying out too much from the hot sun. Some of them I did okay job with, some of them I didn't. So we'll see what they do. But I'm going to do my best to try to salvage everybody. But these are everything I planted from seed. And I'm trying to get some of these things planted into the ground. So we'll see how that goes. The rest of the green stalks over here, these were the onions were. I will not be growing in these for the fall. Once this section dies off, where I will grow the onions and the strawberries, I'll just put my covers over them and only grow on this side over here. And so these are more plants that I just need to get put into different spots. These are some lettuces and things that bolted that I just pulled, and it's just time for them to go. And more plants here. This one will be a hodgepodge of brassicas. Same thing with the cherry blossom. The lemon will have brassicas. The cherry blossom will have brassicas. The strawberry has carrots, and in the top, some kale. Let me sit this down. At the top, some kale. And the kale is still going strong. And then in the raspberry, bunch of peppers. Different types of peppers growing here, from cayenne. Also, my geraniums, my celery, things like that. So this one I am leaving as such until, because once we get that first frost, whatever dies off in here, so the celery will be okay. I may add some lettuce to this to keep this one going, but I will, of course, remove all the peppers and just add lettuce to this tower, make this maybe a celery and lettuce tower. These are beans. I'm going to do another set of beans on here. It is time for me to harvest these. So once I harvest these, I will take these out, put a new set in, and that will be my last set before the frost. And then I probably won't grow anything else in this one. If I do, it'll be just spinach. And then before I get over here to the other ones, right over in here, this is where my husband stopped. He's supposed to pull these weeds, but look at that Swiss chard. Them cabbages in there that I transplanted, they're still going strong. So we'll leave those. And then coming over to this set, this will be my garlic tower. So I'm just not planting anything in here. I'm going to put my garlic in here in October. My leeks will be ready by the time the garlic is ready to come out. When the garlic goes in, the leeks will come out. And then, of course, this will be a hodgepodge of things as well. Right now, just some nasturtiums are in here. Some Swiss chard, some alyssum, and some collards. And then this one over here has my carrots and some Swiss chard. So I'm going to leave it as such. And then lastly, which I'm going to have my grandbabies come out here and do, we're going to water this greenhouse. It's been extremely hot. This right here has fallen down, so we're going to put it back up. But strawberries. The tomatoes are falling, so they're kind of ripe. So we're going to get out here and grab some of these, make some more pasta sauce. But everything in here is still doing okay. So we got strawberries in here that are ready. It's just extremely hot in here, so we need to make sure that I ventilate everything and get it going. Look at those Brad Atomic grapes. Looking really good. But other than that, for the most part, the progress in here is still doing great. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and have them kind of water everything in here, try to get this put back up. But that's really it. Just wanted to update you guys. For the end of July, it's a lot I still need to do, a lot that has been going on, a lot that's been changing, but for the most part, I'm excited to have had a lot of the stuff done, despite all the setbacks from the storm, being sick, and all kinds of things. So I'm grateful that things are still standing, I'm still harvesting, and I couldn't be happier. All right, everyone. Happy growing.
Make sure you like and subscribe.